Forget everything you know about the Chicago suburbs. Homes in Geneva are selling in 7 days, and you heard it right, 7 days. And the price? $561,250. But that's the start of this suburbs boom story. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why Geneva's exploding right now, and whether this boom fits what you're looking for. But the biggest surprise, the one that changes everything, that's coming at the end. I'm Brandon Blankenship, a Chicagoland realtor helping people just like you move in and around the Chicago suburbs, and I want to be your real estate resource when the time comes to make your move. You can find my email in the description down below or click the link to get in contact with me. But let me kick this off with some of the numbers that will blow your mind about Geneva's housing market. The average home price hits $561,250 in September 2025, and that comes straight from InfoStarks that I get on the MLS for single family homes. And the crazy part is how homes are selling in just 7 days, not weeks, days. And that is unbelievably fast for any market. And to put it in perspective, the national average for a home to sell is about 60 days. Geneva is selling homes 8.5 times faster than the national average. Think about that for just a second. Buyers are paying full asking price too. Let that sink in for a moment. Now, let's talk about inventory. It is bad news for buyers. Right now, Geneva sees a roughly around 1.27 month supply of inventory, and this housing crunch makes perfect sense when you look at the numbers. Anything typically under 4 months supply means it is a seller's market, and 4 to 6 is neutral. So Geneva is not just competitive, it is on fire. And when you look at the growth, it is just as shocking. July 2025 data shows home prices went up 19.3% from the year before, and let's compare that to nearby areas. St. Charles, another popular Chicago suburb, saw 12.9% growth in the same period, and Batavia, which is just down to the south, had an 8% growth. Geneva is almost doubling the growth rate of both of its neighbors, and when clients ask me about timing in Geneva, I tell them this market does not wait. I've seen buyers lose homes because they waited just one extra day to make an offer. And once you see the huge infrastructure investments coming soon, you will understand why this urgency is not going away. The competition is that tough, and I had a couple from California fly in to look at homes in Geneva the other month, and they toured 3 houses on a Saturday, and by Sunday, 2 of them were already under contract. They had to make an offer on the third one that same Sunday evening just to stay in the game, but thankfully, that was a home that they loved. And that is what it is like right now. But what is driving this crazy demand is the housing shortage is starting to get fixed. And while we talk about solutions, if you are getting value from this deep dive into Geneva's market, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as leave a like, because it tells YouTube I'm doing a good job at making this video kind of thing, and I'm always analyzing Chicago suburb markets that most people do not even realize are booming. And believe me, Geneva's housing story is only getting started. Let me walk you through how they are dealing with the housing crunch right now. Here's how Geneva is working to fix that housing shortage I told you about earlier, and why timing is super important if you want to grab one of these new homes. The Prairie Grove Townhome Project is bringing 24 brand new townhomes, and these got approved in January 2025. It's on a 5.75 acre site on Peck Road, and the homes will be a mix of ranch style and 2-story houses. After years of not having enough homes, this project is finally giving people choices for different lifestyles. And now 24 townhomes might not sound like a lot, but in Geneva's type market, every single home is a big deal. And here's what's interesting. Geneva Crossing by Lexington Homes will offer townhomes with 2 to 4 bedrooms, and this will give more housing options for families who are growing or professionals who need more space. This development will be priced between $449,000 and $533,000, and that's perfect for families and individuals who are moving up from smaller homes or professionals coming from other states and where homes are even more expensive. But compared to the big job creation project that we'll talk about in just a minute, this mixed-use development shows that they're thinking long-term. The 318 Anderson Boulevard mixed-use project is costing $2.3 million in private investment, and the city even approved a $131,762 tax break to help fix up this 113-year-old building. They're going to have business space on the ground floor and apartments just above. This is really smart city planning, in my opinion, that keeps the old charm of the area while also adding modern housing. More and more cities are starting to mix housing with business space, and instead of just building homes or just building stores, they are doing both. This creates neighborhoods where you can walk to, live, work, and shop without having to drive everywhere. Some of my clients ask about new homes in Geneva, and after so many years of not enough homes, these new projects are finally giving people different choices that fit different budgets and lifestyles. And now new homes are great, but here's the thing. New homes don't mean much without roads and utilities to support the growth. And let me tell you what Geneva is doing with their infrastructure planning, which will really impress you. This is what separates the smart suburbs from the ones that don't plan well and end up struggling later. Geneva isn't just growing, but also investing millions to make sure that growth is handled the right way. And that's what makes Geneva a boomtown. A boomtown plans ahead. They invest in their infrastructure before they even need it, and they make sure everything is set up properly before they build on top of it. Let's talk about one of these projects, the East State Street rebuild. This is a multi-year project that started in the spring of 2026. They're widening the road, adding new bike lanes, improving traffic lights, and upgrading the lighting. East State Street is Geneva's main east to west road, and it connects Interstate 88, which is the main highway people use to commute to Chicago. By widening the road and making traffic flow better, they're getting ready for more people and businesses to move in the future. But here's the smart part. While they're working on the road, they're doing all the underground utility work at the same time. That means they're thinking long term and not just fixing problems later. A lot of cities actually do infrastructure in pieces. They'll fix the road one year, then tear it up the next year to work on the water pipes, and then do the electrical the year after that. But Geneva is doing it all at once. It's more expensive up front, but it's smart in the long run. And honestly, the utility upgrades are a big deal. These changes will support more than just housing. The Division Street water main replacement is scheduled for fall 2025, and they're working on the James Street water service replacement right now in September of 2025. Plus, the underground electric replacement project is due by October 2025. The water system upgrades are important because Geneva's current water pipes were built for a smaller population. With all the new people moving in, they need bigger pipes and better pressure to keep everyone served. The electrical upgrades are even more important. Modern homes and businesses use way more electricity than the old systems were built for. Things like electric cars, home offices, and data centers all need a lot of reliable power. This is all part of citywide planning for the future. Most cities wait until problems pop up, but Geneva is getting their infrastructure ready before the growth hits. I've been working in the Chicago suburbs for the past few years now and lived here my whole life, and I can tell you that most cities don't plan this far ahead. Geneva is doing the exact opposite. Better infrastructure attracts businesses, which creates jobs and brings in more tax revenue. When people move to Geneva, they're not just buying a house today, they're buying into a city that's planning for the future. That's smart city management, and it protects your investment. But everything I've shown you so far, the hot real estate market, the new housing developments, and the massive infrastructure investments is just setting the stage. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. What I'm about to show you is the biggest industrial project in the Western Chicago suburbs in decades, and it just broke ground. The Gateway Business Center is a 211-acre planned industrial park that will have 2.5 million square feet of top quality industrial space. Construction started in July 2025, so this is happening right now, not just something to wait for in the future. And to give you an idea of how big this is, 211 acres is bigger than most entire downtown areas in the Chicago suburbs. It's about the size of 160 football fields, and these spaces will range from 25,000 square feet all the way to 1 million square feet. And there will be a mix of ready-to-go buildings and custom-built ones as well. That means companies can find exactly what they're looking for, what they need, whether they're growing a startup or a big corporation looking to expand here in the Western Chicago suburbs. The smaller spaces are perfect for logistic companies, e-commerce fulfillment, and light manufacturing, and the larger spaces will be able to handle things like distribution centers for major retailers or manufacturing facilities for industries like automotive and aerospace. The project also includes a nearly 1 mile Cotts Road extension and a new electrical station to make sure there's reliable and affordable power. This isn't just about building a few warehouses. It's a full-scale infrastructure that will attract serious businesses. The road extension is really important because it connects directly to major highways. What this means is companies can ship products east to Chicago, west to Iowa, north to Wisconsin, and south to St. Louis without getting stuck in local traffic. The new electrical substation will provide 138 kilovolt power, which is industrial-grade electricity that can support heavy manufacturing and data centers. Most suburban areas can't provide that level of power, and Justin Fears, the principal at MWI Property Group, said something that really shows how big this thing is. He said, "There has not been a new park developed of this size and scale in the West suburbs in decades. We look forward to attracting more world-class companies to the park and the area in the years to come." MWI Property Group is not a small-time developer. They've built industrial parks all over the Midwest. When they say this is the biggest project in decades, they mean it. And the development is targeting companies in logistics, e-commerce, advanced manufacturing, and technology. These are the kinds of businesses that pay high wages and create lots of other jobs. When you bring in thousands of jobs, home values go up. And when there are this many job opportunities, the housing market improves as well. When companies invest in high quality industrial spaces, it shows they're committed to the area long term. And let me break down the ripple effects of all this. First, indirect employment. Every direct job typically creates 1.5 to 2 additional jobs in the community: restaurants, shops, services, construction, and professional services. Second, increased tax revenue. Commercial and industrial properties pay higher property taxes than residential properties. More tax revenue means more money to the schools, better parks, better city services, and third, increased home values. When major employers move into an area, housing demand goes up. People want to live close to where they work, and higher demand means higher prices. And now I'll answer the big question, is that what does this all mean for you? Let me put everything together and show you what this means for your decision. Geneva is experiencing a coordinated wave of growth with a booming housing market, new developments addressing shortages, and millions invested in smart infrastructure. These factors aren't random. The housing growth anticipates new residents, and infrastructure upgrades prepare the city for long-term expansion. The result is a rare combination of job creation, housing supply, and infrastructure development moving forward together. For buyers, the question comes down to timing. Prices are already rising, and as Gateway attracts tenants in 2025 and 2026, competitions for homes will truly intensify. Buying now means betting on Geneva's ability to deliver its growth plans, a fairly safe bet with given the visible progress as well. And waiting, however, risk is paying more later. Even in a downside scenario, Geneva's strong schools and infrastructure provides lasting value. The best choice depends on whether you're seeking a long-term home or short-term gains. Geneva isn't just growing, it's becoming the blueprint of how smart suburbs handle explosive demand. So if you're thinking about making a move next week or next year, I would love to serve you with your real estate needs. Just head to the description or the pinned comment to get connected with me, and I look forward to chatting with you. And you know what's crazy? Most people are still avoiding the Chicago suburbs because of myths that haven't been true for years. Population decline, dead wrong. No jobs, completely false. And car-dependent living, not anymore. And I just broke down 8 massive misconceptions that are keeping smart buyers away from the incredible opportunities here in the Chicago suburbs. So make sure to watch that video as well, and I will see you guys on the next one.